Welcome to the Word for Life podcast, a daily devotional covering the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation.
In Exodus 20, the Lord speaks His 10 commandments from Mount Sinai. Moses and the Israelites listen from the foot of the mountain. God begins with an authoritarian tone. He reminds them that He is the Lord their God who brought them out of the land of slavery. Israel is now a free people because God redeemed them from slavery and overthrew their enemies. So, Israel must respond to the grace of God. They must obey God's instructions. You see, Pharaoh's laws only degraded Israel, but God's laws will make them a great model nation. Not only that, God wanted human beings to be like Him because He created them in His image and His likeness. So when Israel follows God's instructions for life, they will become more in God's likeness. That is why each of the 10 laws was about some essential nature of God. In the first commandment, God told Israel not to worship other gods. Israel, like us today, lived among nations that worshipped other gods. So in the first commandment, God wanted complete loyalty. The second commandment added to this, any physical or pictorial representation of this God would mean insulting God. If Israel would make any idols, that would bring God's judgment to the fourth generation. When Israel worshipped God, they should do so without any visual representation. During worship, believers fill their minds with what God has revealed about Himself through His Word. The third command instructed Israel to guard their mouths when they used God's name. Israel must carefully ensure that God's name is sanctified. The fourth commandment talked about rest. Israel must take rest one day in the 7 days given to them. This means they must rest from unnecessary work and gainful employment. But honoring the seventh day means God's people must pre-plan and carefully organize their work like business or homework in the 6 days they work, so that they can enjoy rest on the seventh day. In chapter 16, for example, when God gave the commandment about manna, He said they can collect the manna for 2 days on the 6th day. So they need to plan to have rest on the 7th day. So Sabbath law is not simply about not working on the 7th day, but organizing our lives during the other days also. The first 4 laws talk about God. The next 6 laws pertain to social life. So for a believer, God comes first, but he also has duties towards his family and society. The fifth law directed children to honor their parents. This is how society will be stable. Commandments 6 to 9 are about crimes against human beings. Israelites must not lie, steal, and murder. The Old Testament describes marriage as a covenant. God Himself is a covenant-making God, and so Israel need to be like Him. Adultery destroys the marriage covenant. The 10th commandment is about heart and thoughts. Israel must not encourage improper thoughts about each other. When God spoke all these words from the mountain, the Israelites were terrified. They were unwilling to go up to the mountain, and they asked Moses to act as a mediator. Moses asked them not to be afraid. So that was, in a sense, a wrong fear. But he also told them that God gave this experience so that they will fear him and not sin against him. So God, through this experience, wanted to give them a real understanding of God so that they will fear him and act righteously. Friends, today people criticize the Ten Commandments. They tell believers that they should not impose it on others. So many people believe that Ten Commandments is only for Christians, that should not be applied to everybody. But we understand that the Ten Commandments is not just for Christians, but God gave it to all human beings. And we as believers are not imposing it on anybody. You see, when we go to a doctor, he prescribes medicines. He is not imposing his rules on us, but because he knows the human body and how the human body works, he prescribes things for us. He tells us what to eat and what not to eat. In the same way, 10 Commandments are the prescriptions of the Creator God. One who follows it will be more human and reflect God's image and likeness.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of the Word for Life podcast.